So when you're planning a marketing strategy and you're taking social media into account, which I think pretty much everyone needs to do, whether you're, a consumer brand selling, soap, or you're a massive industrial company selling jet engines, you have to think about social media. And there's a few things you need to think about. I'd say really three things. One is content. So what are you going to say? And that's a strategic decision, but it's also a day in, day out function that you need to think about, because you need to produce content, and producing content is not free. It might be free to post it, but there's resource costs involved with that. So you need to think about content. Second one you need to think about is then dissemination. So how are you going to get that out there? Are you just going to sort of see it as advertising, for instance, or are you going to try and get people to share it sort of via word of mouth, or like if it's on Twitter, for example, they would retweet it, or if it's on Instagram, they would regram it. Facebook, they would share it. Maybe even just people emailing it to each other. But how are you going to get it to spread? Because you're not just creating the content for half a dozen people, you're creating it hopefully for millions of people that you're trying to reach, that are relevant people. And with that, you need to therefore think about the channels as well. So where's the right place to go? And so therefore the third bit is really about the audience. So who are you targeting? So, are these existing customers? Are they potential customers? Are they both? What are the characteristics? Can you, precisely reach them? So channels like Facebook, for example, offer brands quite sophisticated targeting tools. You can be very, very precise in terms of the characteristics of people that you want to reach with either an ad or a post as a brand. So that's great, but then you need to know which of those characteristics you want to activate, so to speak. So the audience is really, really important. The other aspect with audience that's really, really important is just thinking about I talk about it as like, where do they live online? And not just where they live, but what do they do there? So maybe if you're, I use the example of sort of heavy industry using social media, like, jet engines, for instance, or container ships, or think about massive, massive industrial products. So maybe they're not going to be on Instagram. Maybe they are actually. There's some examples of companies in the industrial space that use lots of different social media channels, but maybe they're going to be on LinkedIn. But if I'm a consumer packaged goods company that's targeting millennials, well, maybe I really need to be thinking about Instagram and Snapchat. And so really it's about this fit of your audience with where they are in terms of all the different social media platforms. Then you need to be there. So you need to kind of go to them, not force them to try and come to you. Because why would they do that? Probably they won't do it. So you need to think about content, you need to think about dissemination, then you need to think about the audience.